So as we begin step 2, where we dive into secondary authority, we are always mindful of our research goals. We're looking for the issue, and to find the actual issue, we need to find the actual controlling rules, because the controlling rules will tell us specifically what the plaintiff here would need to prove, what Sony ATV would need to prove to sue us. So we're looking for the issue, which we need to do that. We need to find the rules, and then case law, and then we're gathering reasoning ideas all along the way. Now, I'm thinking, going here to skill 2.2, I want to find a really good secondary authority. And because intellectual property is so well developed in the United States, I'm assuming there's a really good treatise out there, but I don't know what it is. So I'm going to use a research guide to find that. So I just Googled Cooley research guides, but again, you can, as you learned in the book, you can go to any law school's research guides. Some are good, some are bad. Just kind of depends what you get. So we know we're in the area of law of intellectual property. That's one reason why in step 1 we think about the area of law. So I'm going to click on intellectual property here. And then I'm going to look for some really good treatises. So we're talking about copyright, so I'm going to click on copyright here and then scroll down. When I find something good, I'll let you know. Okay, so I scrolled down. This is probably the 5th or 6th entry here. Nimmer and Copyright, a treatise on the law of literary, musical, and artistic property. So that caught my eye. This often cited work provides comprehensive coverage of U.S. copyright law, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it says it's also available on Lexis Advance or LexisNexis. So instead of going to the library, I'm just going to go to Lexis, and I'm going to type in here Nimmer on copyright, and sure enough, it pops up. So you can do that whenever you know the title. Just put it in the bar. And that research guide was helpful in that it told us the name of it. And it told us it was on Lexis. This is not available on Westlaw. If you open Westlaw and type in Nimmer, you won't get it. But Westlaw is smart enough; it'll tell you a similar type of treatise. So now we know that to search in secondary authority, we can use the index, table of contents, or search bar. You know from the text that Lexis is not big on having an index, so we'll focus on using the table of contents and search bar. So I'm just going to look at the table of contents here just to get a view of kind of what the heck is going on. So I'm going to look through here. So as I look through the table of contents, I see in chapter 12, it's all about infringement actions and procedural aspects. And from a quick view, I can tell that has to do with filing the complaint, where to file the complaint, who has standing to sue, who are parties to sue, and so forth. So that's not really our question. Ours is more about the substance, which we find down here in chapter 13, substantive aspects of infringement actions. And then I see here the elements of defense in an infringement action. So I'm wondering if fair use is going to be in here. So I'm going to check that out. So there's nothing too interesting here. It just says basically that the defense will win if you can establish that the plaintiff did not prove an element, but we don't know what the elements are. So this was a dead end. So I'm going to go back to the table of contents. So I just found a whole section here on the defense of fair use, which my boss kind of put me onto. So I'm going to click on this section and start reading. And by the way, I'm probably about 20 minutes in total. So by the way, because this is right on point, I'm going to grab the citation and put it into my plan here. Okay, now I will read. So I love at the very beginning, they tell us there's this blockbuster fair use decision, Google versus Oracle. The end of this section provides an initial roadmap of that decision with an overview. So we're going to definitely want to read about Google versus Oracle. Okay, so we learn right away the courts have long recognized that certain acts of copying, okay, because we're copying the music here, our client copied the music, are defensible as fair use. So now I'm really looking for the elements. That's goal 2 of research, the rules. So I'm going to pause and keep looking for those elements. So I see right here in this first paragraph, the Copyright Act of 1976 for the first time accorded express statutory recognition of this judge-made rule of reason. So this fair use rule. So I'm going to click on this footnote because remember, footnotes are the bridge to primary authority. So here we have Title 17 of the United States Code, Section 107. All right, so I clicked on that, and now we are looking at the statute. So go ahead and pause this and read the defense of fair use, which we just found here in the United States Code. So basically it says if you're using somebody else's work for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research, it's not an infringement of copyright. And then there are factors, fair use factors. So the purpose and character, the nature, the amount of and substantiality of the portion used, and the effect of the use upon the potential market. So I'm going to copy this and put the whole thing into our research plan. And don't forget to copy with the citation. So of course I'm going to put this under step 3 because this is codified law we just found. So I will put it right there. And I always like to put quotation marks around things that aren't mine. All right, there we go. Now I just I omitted some words here that just really don't apply to us, but I left all of the substantive stuff. But see, I'm going to read this and understand it, but I'm going to go back to secondary authority to make sure that I'm not missing anything. So here we are back in Lexis, and I'm going to keep reading here. Okay, there is nothing else really helpful in this section. So now I'm actually going to jump ahead to the third step of the research process, which is research codified law. And I need to analyze the language of this statute here. I want to break it down into its elements. I want to make sure we're not missing anything else in the act. And then we'll kind of bounce back and forth between secondary authority, codified law, and case law as we work our way through the process. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.